Hello and welcome to sponsored by Fast Custom Shirts. Here, maybe how it's coming through, I don't know. Joe froze up, so that's fucking not good. But we're here. God damn it! How about Joe? You take over now, because this is now officially your show.
All right. Hello everybody. This is Joe. We're here for episode I don't know what number, but we got a lot of them. And Tom is having issues with his internet yet again after he's consulted everybody in the greater Houston area about what he should do, and they all told him he should just go fuck himself. And so that's what he's been doing today. Uh, Let's see, this week, how's my week gone? It was busy again, still a busy week. And then I went and set up a dark hour haunted house because they were having a market in their parking lot. And it was the first time they've done this, so you never know what to expect. I wasn't expecting as many people to show up as they did. It was a good day. And our old buddies, Eric and Joe, Horrorholics guys, they went out there, so it was good to see them again. And maybe we'll be seeing old Steve next week in Houston since he lives there.
That
And
is not going to happen. I can guarantee that.
all right, well, that's unfortunate.
I
But
know
Tom,
it's at a brewery after all.
right? Yeah, he loves drink. Yeah, he puts us to shame. Uh, how was your week, Tom?
Oh, I went to AT&T to look at that new internet like I said I was gonna do, and now the website lied. They don't service my area. Turns out I only have one other option, and the reliability is worse than I have now. I'm one of the lucky ones to have been able to get the internet that I have, which, I mean, I do live not in a major city, but it's not fucking out the fuck there. It's 5 minutes off a highway. It's not like fucking, oh, you go down this road, turn, you go 20 miles deep into the woods. Like, I'm literally in a fucking city that they're building up now. The news actually like names it as one of their cities when they do the news, like on the traffic thing and on the weather and all that shit. So it's not like I'm fucking 10, 20 years ago. Sure, I would give you that, but it's literally 5 minutes off the highway, and LTE internet is the best I can get. This shit says it needs like fucking 5 upload to fucking work. Okay, StreamYard, that is. I was running this earlier. I got a 3 something. So right now, I'm using my phone, which, as we spoke about, sometimes I'll get the calls when people are trying to call me. Sometimes I won't. Same with texts. My sister will send me a text. I won't get it till 4 hours later. She has to fucking Facebook call me. That's more reliable than the fucking phone service I pay for. So right now, I just turned my phone into a mobile hotspot
Ouch.
and just too hot to touch. So before I ran the fucking thing, and it was like, oh shit, it's at about a 7 upload. That's terrific. And then Joe and we came into the old studio, as StreamYard calls it. And, little ticker that says, your internet connection, shit, bud. You should look into that. So I said, all right, Joe, hold on a second. Let me run this old test again. Now, this fucking thing was running at a 3. Oh, terrific. But luckily, I bought an adapter, you see, because laptops don't have Ethernet ports anymore, or at least the one I have does not. So a little adapter, USB thing, click it in there. Oh, this connection's so much more stable. I guess I'm going back to the phone. So now we're back using the phone. Joe says the video shit, but at least the audio's coming through. So December's the month for it to fucking happen.
The long month.
But the days go by so fast. How could that be? Anyways, speaking of the couple tomatoes who wear the same shirt podcast, Joe, how are you doing today?
Today is all right. Oh shit. What pricks. uh let's see. Well, I did quite a bit of drinking yesterday, at the show, and then Lisa's friend was having a party, so we went over to that, and I was tired when I got there. Like, I was so tired, I just sat down for a while in front of this lady's couch, and she was watching The Grinch, or she had The Grinch on for some reason. There was no kids at this party, but I'm sitting there watching the fucking Grinch, and it's like, this is a weird ass movie. um, so yeah, today I was not feeling my best, I guess you could say, and I thought I was gonna be able to sit around at home, ride the couch, watch a bunch of movies, but Lisa reminded me, no, we got to go visit my dad today. Okay, so we went and did that, and it's back to work tomorrow, man. You know, shit needs to get done. But I am both of Juan and I are very caught up on all the Christmas orders going out, so nothing's gonna be late this year. Good shit, good shit. Things are okay. I'm waiting for something to fuck up, you know.
I was knocking on wood there for you, Joe.
Yeah, I'll say this: I probably shouldn't have eaten a bowl of chili so late in the evening tonight, But we'll see what happens with that later, I guess.
I'm
Uh,
sorry to hear that, Joe. I'll pray for you.
we are coming up on our end of the year too, so I'm gonna head to the theater quite a bit this week and go see that Godzilla minus whatever. And
Yeah, you don't have much time. I think they're taking it out of theaters after Thursday.
oh, then it'll be on Netflix tomorrow. Then, uh, and I want to go see Poor Things because it's like a Frankenstein story, you see.
We'll
And
get to that.
and then there's something else out there that I wanted to see. I don't remember what right now, but yeah,
Wonka?
and because I need to see some good shit. I need to fucking find some stuff for my list, Tom. This is a difficult year for the list.
Yeah, I was looking back and I've got a lot of bangers, as they say. I definitely have more good on my list than bad.
Hmm.
But remember, you got Sisu, so don't
Yeah,
forget about that one.
loaded that the other day, so that's on Apple, ready to watch. I was thinking maybe I'll watch it when I'm down in Corpus. Watch it with my dad or something. Um,
That'll be nice.
yeah. Um, yeah, that's it. And just watching shit at home. Didn't watch a whole lot this week, Tom, but I did go back and finally finish up Blade, the series. And
Before you do that, Joe, anybody, if you're watching this live, let me know how the audio and shit is because that is all I'm thinking about. All right, Joe, start over again with Blade. Sorry.
right, as some of you long time listeners will know, just a couple of years back, Tom and I we did our whole retrospective on the Blade movies, watched them all, and I don't think any of them really lived up to my expectations. I remember really liking the first and second ones, but on this new viewings, I didn't really think they were all that great. Even the one directed by Del Toro, which I thought that one was awesome back in the day. It's just like, it's okay, you know. And then what was it? The third one? That's where like as soon as they kill somebody or like shoot them with the fucking stake guns or whatever, they turn to ash real quick. Yeah, that looks like shit, and they use that whole technique a lot in the series because I guess it was cheap to do. Uh, yeah, I mean that's why you do digital effects. It's a lot cheaper and more fucking. You get it done quicker or whatever. You don't have to pay some prick with a whole crew of shit. Uh, but Blade the series, Blade is played by Sticky Fingers. You remember him, Tom? You were once a fan of his work, right? Were you not?
Onyx. So
Yeah.
Slam. And Black Rock. You remember that one? It's not that old.
He uh he does a decent job of playing Blade. I don't remember if Wesley Snipes had tattoos all over him. Did he have like tribal tattoos? In
Yeah,
his
I think that was a big thing, and a lot of people started getting the old blade tattoo up their arm and neck. The
Yeah.
Rock got it.
So he has that. Sticky Fingers is bald, but he's got the goatee, so he looks tough and everything. And he talks a lot like this, Tom.
It's because
Pre-
he's from New York.
Previously on Blade. Uh, yeah. Instead of Whistler, they've got some Asian dude helping him out. I mean, the shit with Blade is just okay, but it's this like the villains in it. They're like a family of vampires, like the mafia and shit. That's nothing new. All this shit's been done before, but it was intriguing, And there's a lady at the beginning. She's turned into a vampire. She just got back from Iraq or some shit, and her brother was like a thrall to one of the vampires, or a familiar, as they called them. And she gets bitten, but Blade saves her, and starts giving her some blue potion that he uses so he doesn't have to get blood. And so she's helping Blade now infiltrate the family, the Cthon, the House of Cthon, they're called. I guess it's supposed to be like Cthulhu or something, but
Well, that was the name of the movie, quote unquote, where it was the first 3 episodes or whatever smashed together.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that was called the House of.
the House of yeah. So along the course of the way, you get other people to guest star and are playing different characters. Buster Poindexter is one of them in a lot of episodes. That dumb fuck. Um, and a good friend of the show, Bokeem Woodbine, is in a couple episodes too. And he's already a goofy looking fucker, but with vampire teeth, it's goddamn, you can't stop laughing. It's every scene this guy is showing his teeth. Fucker. Yeah, he looks fucking dumb. Oh shit. But the show's okay, man. It's better than the third and fourth movies, and yeah, I dig it. So, I know you're not into vampire shit, so there's no reason for you to watch it, Tom. But I thought the lady they brought in, because it's mainly about her doing her undercover shit. I think she's pretty sexy, Tom. It gets a good recommendation, And I don't know if she's Jewish or not, but we'll get to that later.
All
Yeah.
right.
So this
So
shit
if you got 5 sticky fingers, it's a recommendation.
previously on Blade. Break.
Oh, Joe, I don't even know if it's worth me talking about anything because I don't know how the old quality is and if I'm just wasting my breath, if we're just wasting time here. Because I said, hey, anybody watching this, let me know how it is. And the 2 people who were left. So right there should fucking tell me. Yep, your audio quality and or video quality is pretty fucking terrible, but I guess if the audio quality is okay, that's really all that matters. Cause besides Charlie, sad Charlie, I can't fucking think of anybody who would actually, like, sit and watch this. Like you got to be like whacking off to you or something. I don't know what the fuck why anybody would actually watch this and not have it on as background noise, but I'm just speaking from somebody who uses YouTube as background noises and masturbation fuel at times. So how is that, Joe? Did the audio come through okay?
Yeah, the audio, your audio, from what I can hear, is coming through fine. You know, your video is very choppy, but it is what it is at this point. I mean, either that or we restart over tomorrow. I don't fucking know.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah, Super
uh,
X says the audio is good.
all right, well, how is the video? Is the video okay? Is it serviceable? I guess that's the question. Is the video serviceable? Now we got to wait like a minute or two because it's on a fucking delay. So we'll just sit here like a couple of fucking jagoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, if you like this shirt, head on over to fastcustomshirts.com. We like it so much, we're dressed like a couple of fucking husbands. So head on over to fastcustomshirts.com. We won't give you pregnant because we don't have ovaries. It's okay. You're freezing a bit. Then you start again. All right. Well, if it's okay, then it's fucking okay. I don't even know what the fuck I could do at this point besides, maybe if we don't go live anymore and we just record it,
We can.
maybe that would.
You want to try something like that tomorrow? We'll just find something to talk about tomorrow and just to see. Uh,
Yeah, I just fucking feel bad about asking you doing that shit 'cause it's like wasting your fucking time. And I'm already taking like up to 2 hours a fucking week to do this garbage. So it's up to you, man. Otherwise, we'll fucking figure it out on the fly like we're doing now and have a wonderful show where I just fucking curse and get frustrated. Call everyone goddamn fucking jagoffs.
yeah, we'll try something tomorrow. But uh, but yeah. So what did you watch, Tom?
Ah, shit. I'll save this for the thing we can try tomorrow then.
Okay.
Joe, I watched this. It's Night Killer. Have you heard of it? Of course you did, 'cause you're the one who got me this fucking Blu-ray. Thank you. Don't let the cover fool you. It's not 4K because it has the black thing, and it's not pornography either because it has the black thing. It's just a regular Blu-ray by the fine folks at the Severin Entertainments. That sounded more like a fucking Dracula at the end. It was supposed to be all whopped up and shit, but it turned into fucking something else, Joe. Have you ever seen this fucking movie before?
No, I've got a copy of that as well, and I've not watched it yet. I've been going through my Severin uh, releases that I have here, so I'll get to it.
Maybe death may be coming for you sooner than you think.
Oh, that'd be okay too.
So, shit. This fucking movie. It's an Italian movie disguised as an American movie. This is made by fucking Claudio Fragasso, and he goes by Clyde Anderson. Doesn't get more fucking American than, hey, why is this fucking movie kind of nonsensical and a little inept? Is this Italian? But it says like they're in Virginia and these are all American actors and shit. Oh, I knew I smelled marinara sauce, you fucks trying to trick me, will ya? So in this sham of a fucking movie. Oh, there's a night killer going around, Joe, and he wears this really shitty mask that sorry, I'm not trying to, shit on your art or anything, but it's not good. And then he has this glove hand. It's another wobbly fucking latex thing with like long fucking black lady nails on it, like super fucking long. They're not like made out of metal or super sharp or anything. At one point, there's a scene where this fucking asshole has to pick up his set of keys and he can't, so he just has to swoop his fucking fingernail in a loop and get it like that. Well, then if you have to do that, how do you expect to open the door, fuck face, and use the actual key? What a dickhead. Again, fucking Italians, quit making movies. What's wrong with you people? Besides being Italian, that is. So, old night killer only strikes during the day. Can you believe that shit, Joe?
Oh,
Ah, fuck. Ah, yeah, lady gets attacked by old night killer. Night killer lets her live, and she's just fucked up from the trauma. She doesn't know left from right, her ass from a hole in the ground. Ah, ooh. Ah, I can't look after my kid anymore. Hey, you suspectly weird next door neighbors or family friends, whoever the fuck you are, take care of my kid. So they do. So the daughter starts living with, these fucking people, I guess. And then lady, she's just driving around one day, and then this dickhead in the Jeep, which I mean is anybody who has a Jeep, especially if it's a Jeep Wrangler, fucking trade that shit in and get a man's car. If you're a man, if you're a lady, I guess that's fine, but this isn't Jurassic Park. Get a regular fucking vehicle. Anyways, this dickhead in a Wrangler, he's like drinking booze out of a paper bag. Hey, pull over, baby. I want to gets to know you and shit. And she says, Dios, Dios, and tries to get the fuck away. He fucking flips a bitch, goes after her. He follows her into some fucking bathroom. And hey, where are you? She turns around with a gun. All right, dick licker, get naked. Take your fucking clothes off. So she makes him put all his clothes in the toilet and flush them. I mean, they're not going to go anywhere. They're just going to get wet, which I guess, that was her plan. I'm going to slow this guy down so I can get the fuck away. But so she leaves and it doesn't slow this guy down. He just grabs his belongings out of the toilet, runs out into the lobby in his underwear. The desk clerk is like, "What happened to you?" And this gentleman replies with, "I was molested in the little boy's room," and then runs out of the fucking place of business, wherever the fuck this was. So the next scene's just like him putting a shirt on because he has spare clothes in his fucking Jeep. Nothing got stolen with his no windows or doors having ass fucking vehicle. So he fucking gets the fuck out of there. He finds the lady trying to kill herself on the beach with pills and booze. He says, "Oh, we gotta get this stuff out of you. I gotta fill you with salt water." So he fucks her mouth and fills her gullet with salt water. Just kidding. They were at the beach. So he starts drowning her in the ocean. Until she ingests all this salt water and just starts puking up all this stuff, which they say you shouldn't do. Forcefully drown women, that is. Oh, so dude fucking kidnaps her. He acts like a fucking nut. He brings home some fucking KFC and they fucking eat weird KFC shit in the bed. Not as good as Killer Joe, but still fucking weird. And the night killer's still out there day killing. So all that shit's happening and cops are closing in on him. And it turns out, Joe, that this guy who kidnapped her isn't the night killer. It's her ex husband. And since she has all this amnesia, he thought, acting like a fucking nut would be a good way to shock her out of her whatever. And that was like a healthy way to be like, "Oh, remember me? I'm your ex-husband. I love you, blah blah blah." No, he did like the exact opposite. And old the daytime night killer turned out to be the fucking guy who's taking care of the daughter. Can you believe it? Italian, mamma mia, what a piece of shit. It was okay. I mean, it's worth a watch just because of how fucking dumb and stupid it fucking was, but I'll never shop here again. As in, watch that movie. I will shop severnfilms.com again, though. But yeah, this movie was it was worth a watch for sure, just because it's garbage ass bullshit and you'll get some laughs, but there's no reason to go back to it once you've seen it there, mate. Yep. Night Killer.
My killers. Tom, I watched a movie on Apple TV called Fingernails. Yeah, so
Mhm.
it was a fingers themed, if I had fingers and then fingernails. This is it's a love triangle movie, Tom. It is about a lady, or set in the future where, like, if you're dating somebody, and you're thinking, hey, this is, I want to see if we're compatible. You can go and take a test where they take your fingernail off, and then they like put it in some kind of machine, and it tests your compatibility rate somehow. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, this lady's already with her perfect match. She's you know with him, but she's not satisfied, Tom. She feels like her life has just gotten monotonous with this guy. She loves him, but wants something more. So she goes and gets a job at this place so she can learn more about, the process and about love and this and that. And the guy that's training her, she starts to fall for him, Tom. Ah, and well, one day, like, they have a client that's really afraid to have their fingernail taken off, because yeah, why wouldn't you be? That shit would hurt. You ever lost a fingernail or a toenail, Tom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember a couple days ago I kicked the old cement and a big ass chunk of my fucking nail came off and
Yeah, that shit hurts. Yeah. I had fucking both my big toenails last year were all fucked. Uh and I didn't think they were gonna grow back, but they did. Body is fucking weird. Uh so they got one guy that doesn't want to do it. So he said, look, I'll show you. I'm gonna do it myself, then you do it, okay? So she steals his fingernail, gets one of her own done so she can see if they're compatible. She's wondering, can you be in love with two people at the same time, Tom? But she only gets a 50% uh, compatibility result. So no, test again with her guy she's with now, and they're still 100%. But she still ends up hoeing it up, and fucking gets with this other guy, and and that's just how the movie ends. She fucks the dude and like just kind of wants to hang out with him, and the movie's good. But again, like everything else or most everything I've watched this year, it's not great. It's not bad. It's not good enough to make either the good or the bad list. It's just there. It's very well acted, but I don't give a fuck. And yeah, just like you just said, I'll never watch this again. There's real no reason to. Um, there's very few people I feel I could recommend it to, because like I said, that ending is just very unsatisfying. And yeah, the movie's fucking pointless. Yeah. Hmm. Guess I should have watched something else. But you never know until you watch these things.
that's right, Joe, you might find a diamond in the rough.
As they say.
So keeping on the theme of fingers, if you will, Joe. You ever been fingered?
No.
No,
Wait,
you haven't.
yeah, I have by the doctor.
How was that?
It was uncomfortable,
But
you know?
not bad.
I mean, it was over rather quickly, but it's just like, I mean, what are you doing again here, doctor? What the fuck are you looking for? I don't know.
His glove.
I guess. Yeah. And I guess they're supposed to like next time I do this, uh, shit, is it next year or the year? I don't know. They're supposed to film it. You know, they're supposed to film inside my ass or something. I don't know.
Can
Strange,
you ask for the video?
right? You would think, hey, I want to see what's going on up in there. You know? uh,
I'm sure whichever hospital system you use, they have like their database that you have to log into and everything, and your video will be there, Joe. So if you don't mind, I'd like to share that with Super Nintendo Zach, if you will.
the year, Zach, you'll have something to look forward to. Maybe it'll make a list.
Virtual Christmas card for next year. Just put a CGI, shitty CGI Santa and fucking reindeer going like that. Long
Number
December. Oh shit, Joe. Ah, I watched another one from the fine, fine folks at Severin Films. This one's called Cathy's Curse, Joe. Have you heard of it?
I've seen this one.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right, wasn't it? Wasn't terrible. It
Kinda-
wasn't great, but yeah, it was all right. Oh shit. So this one starts out a little girl's in her room and some dude comes up. We don't know who he is. He says, "Hey, where's your mother? Where's Gregory or some fucking shit? Where's this guy?" Oh, she's like, "Oh, mother, she went out and Gregory went with her and blah blah blah." And he says, "Your mother's a bitch." However, while doing this, he's just talking, kneeling down, talking to her, and then the girl says his stuff. And when he says, "Your mother's a bitch," he's like standing up, looking down on her. You're just like, hey, was this edited by Italians? Probably. So, anyways, he grabs the little girl. Maybe it's the dad, maybe it isn't. I don't know. It's probably the dad, but it turns out that the mom, she took the other kid with him, which was the son. So the girl and the dad, maybe, dies in a car accident, and that's the end of them. Cut to however many years later, maybe 3 months or something. The kid's all grown up, the boy kid, and he moves his family, his wife, and his daughter into the house that he grew up in. Turns out this house is haunted by the ghost of the dead girl. Woo! And she possesses a little girl, whatever the fuck her name was, and causes her to say hilarious things like, "You dried up old whore, you fat female cow." So if seeing a little girl trying to keep a very straight face while she's saying these hilarious things sounds funny to you, check this movie out because that's pretty much one of the only things this movie has going for it, and it happens quite often. So it's worth it for that. But other than that, you'd think Italians made the shit and it's whatever. Uh there's a part where a lady falls out of a window. That was pretty funny because it was, incompetently shot. So there was that. There's an old drunk guy there. Like the fucking this little girl's like physically feeding this old drunk booze and shit. And then he's just falling over laughing while she's calling this lady a fat bitch and shit. Oh, you fat bitch. Doing shit like that. Oh man, this one it's definitely worth watching. I think fucking Dave wrote some shit like the selling point on the blurb on the back of the thing is like, oh, if foul mouth moppet action is your thing, some shit like that. And it's just like, yeah, that's what this movie pretty much has
Mhm.
going for it. A foul mouth little girl just trying to keep this fucking straight face. And I'm glad they didn't find a better actress, Joe.
That's English, you know.
Yeah, this one's worth checking out. I'm gonna hold on to that one because maybe I'll watch it again. But I mean, I'm sure you can just look up clips on the internet of it, like a compilation of just all those scenes, and it'll work fine because there's a lot of bullshit. Like I said, you think these motherfuckers were Italian, and they might be. It's a Severin movie, but I don't know. I can't remember. All I really remember is this possessed little girl cursing all these fucking ladies out, and it was hilarious. The end. Would recommend.
I watched a newer movie on Netflix, a 2023 film, and this is Extraction Part 2, the sequel to Extraction. Now, in an Extraction, that was a Chris Helmsworth movie, and he was trying to save some kid. You know, he's a tough guy that goes in on special shit. But at the end of Part 1, they shoot him in the chest, and he falls down a fucking bridge, lake, into a river or some shit. He's fucking dead. But in Extraction 2, we see that scene again, but we see what happened afterwards. He floated down the river, and his team went and got him from the river, rushed him to the hospital, and they save him, but he's just got all this rehabilitation to do. So they have him living in a fucking cabin, out in some place cold, and he's down in the dumps, Tom. So he gets a dog. Dogs are great. Uh, that's not good enough for him. He gets some chickens. That's not good enough for him. Somebody approaches him with a job, Tom. Another extraction. Turns out there's this lady in a prison in Georgia, which I thought was in the United States, but it turns out Georgia is its own country, you know, and there are some Georgian mobsters there, and they have her locked up with her kids because he doesn't trust that bitch being out on her own. So I'm going to prison, you're going to prison too, bitch. And turns out that's his ex sister in law, old Chris Helmsworth is. So he's got to get that lady and her kids out this prison. Well, he does. After he gets this, decides to take this mission, he starts training for real out in the snow, like Rocky did when he went to Russia. He's chopping wood and he's practicing with axes and shit like that, practicing his marksmanship with a gun. And okay, he's ready to go into prison, and he fights like 100 dudes, and it's just like, yeah, this is too much, it's a lot of action. It's a lot of these, how they were doing it a couple of years back where every fucking action movie was trying to do this. We're going to do this whole scene in one shot, and it's not really one shot. They just kind of edit it to make it look like that. That's what I guess the fucking 20-minute breakout scene in this movie is like. And it just doesn't look good. It looks like a fucking video game, like you're playing a shooter, and it didn't work for me. Um, After that, of course, they find out it was him. They find out what the lady is. So the mobsters are coming after for their vengeance, Tom. And he's got to fight them all over again with his small crew of helpers and shit. And, just a lot of people stabbing each other, shooting each other, doing some crazy martial arts type moves. And it was okay. You know, Nothing I want to watch again. Uh, but it's good enough and intriguing enough that because they left it open for yet another sequel, which I'm sure they'll fucking make, and I'll watch that too. Whenever that bullshit comes out. But no, I can't recommend it. If you're easily impressed by action movies, yeah, go ahead and give it a watch. But it's just there. Like almost every other goddamn movie in 2023. It's very hard to make the list, Hollywood, when you're putting out shit like this.
Well, I'm curious about something in this movie. If you'll humor me a little bit there, Joe.
Let's hear it, Tom.
How did these Georgianian gangsters speak? How did they sound when they were speaking with their accents?
They were actually, for the most part, speaking in Georgian, I guess, if that's really a language, because it was all, a lot of their scenes were subtitled. Uh, but the guy that was playing the main villain, like that guy, I guess he fucking knows how to fight for real, or done some real shit because he had what they call cauliflower ear. You familiar with that, Tom?
I am, Joe. I
Yeah.
have cauliflower scrotum.
Well, that usually happens with people that do like jujitsu or wrestling or whatever. And this guy, both his ears were like fucked. Look, I was like, oh, this guy's done some real shit then. But that's all right. He was an villain. Mm.
All right, so if you had to do an impersonation, knowing that you don't know the language, how did these Georgians speak there, Joe?
You will never get her back. I will kill you and all your loved ones.
Damn, so they were like Russian, Soviet, Eastern Europeans?
Yeah, I think Georgia maybe was part of the USSR when it was all one big fucking pile of shit instead of a bunch of little ones. Uh, yeah.
Damn, for some reason I was thinking Africa. And in the back of my head, I was just like, Joe, please don't start clicking and whistling.
I don't know how to whistle.
Well, I'm not going to tell you how, even though we're wearing the same shirt, I'll let that movie explain it to you.
All right.
Ah, Joe, I watched another Blu-ray that I'll hold up now and have my fingers cover it. It's called The Editor. Have you heard of this?
No.
This is a Astron 6 movie. They made shit like Father's Day, which I liked, Manborg, which I didn't like, Psycho Gorman, which I didn't like, and Leprechaun Returns, which was well, I think really Psycho Gorman and that Leprechaun were made by like people who left the group and said, we're too cool for school. I'm going to fuck off and do my own thing, mate. I don't know. As I just said, they're very hit and miss for me. But this one is about the production of an Italian movie, Joe. Can you believe it? They're making an Italian giallo. Oh my God, this movie is going to be great. Uh, so it's like a satire of both the Italian filmmaking and the giallo movies themselves. So it was pretty good. It follows around the editor who got fucking sloppy angry one fucking day and sliced his fingers off on the old chopping board. So now he has like a prosthetic glove thing with like fake fingers and he's still able to edit and shit. And everybody calls him a cripple. So that was pretty funny. And yeah, it's just like a satire of fucking, the gloved killer and all that bullshit, their shitty acting and lighting and all that stuff. So, I mean, if you hate Italian movies like I do, this is a good one to watch. I think you'll get some good laughs out of it. Even if you like the Italian movies, I think it'll work. Is like, oh yeah, I know that and that. That's the stuff I love, and they're poking fun of it. Tee hee hee. But yeah, I think it works. It doesn't get as fucking wild as something like Father's Day does towards the end, but It's a satire of a shitty Italian movie, Joe. So you're either in or out on that. And yeah, I dug it. I didn't get into the special features or anything. I said I'll just save that for a rainy Sunday when I'm looking for something in the background, and we'll do that. I watched a little bit of the behind the scenes, not the whole thing, so I guess I didn't care that fucking much, and maybe that contributed to me not listening to the fucking audio commentary. But I'm not gonna get rid of it, and one of these days, if I live long enough to think about the fucking movie again, then I'll pull it off the shelf and hopefully it'll still work. But yeah, if you're interested in all, it's fucking worth a watch.
That's all I
Good
watched.
deal. Oh,
Probably.
Joe. All right, let me look at the list because that stack's gone. Da, 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 da. I watched a documentary called Token Taverns. It's a movie about barcades. Have you ever heard of barcades before?
I've been to one.
Have you ever heard of a token tavern?
Never heard it referred to as such.
So why the fuck didn't they just call the movie Barcades, Joe? Why come up with a shittier fucking name and only refer to these businesses as barcades in the movie? Maybe it's copywritten? I don't know, but Jesus Christ. You think you're getting a documentary about like all these people who run fucking arcades with bars in it, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I mean, you kind of do, but it's just like three or four businesses all in close proximity in Florida. And it shows them like before the pandemic, they were making this. And then I guess the pandemic happened. It's like, oh, well, now I guess we switch and make the documentary about these small businesses trying to stay in business and what they have to do. Like, no, I guess we got to start selling Hot Pockets now to call ourselves a restaurant so we can open up. Because if we don't sell food, then like this one place just got a microwave and then they'd sell like frozen shit to say, all right, go slap it in the microwave, fuck face. And then it shows like whoever made it coming out of the other end, and it was fine. I mean, they kind of sell you on something different than you're actually getting. Would it have been better if it was just focused on like all these bar arcades all around and the different people who ran it? I don't know. So I mean, it's fine. Background noise. I'll never watch it again. So Daniel Pacina showed up for a second. That's the guy who was the original Johnny Cage. So there's that. Token taverns. And then I watched by special request, good old JR said, "Hey mate, can you what?" That doesn't sound like JR at all. It's like some kind of Australian. Anyways, he said, "Hey, can you watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? I've given you enough money over the fucking year, you son of a bitch." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I guess that's the least I can fucking do." So, Joe, I watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of this.
What have you heard?
Um, as the Winnie the Pooh works fell into the public domain, some prick said, "Hey, let's capitalize that and make a horror movie with Winnie the Pooh and Piglet or whatever the fuck." That's what.
Yeah, this isn't just any prick, Joe. This is a mate by the name of Scott Jeffrey. I've seen a few of his movies. The only one that I can remember the title of is one I turned off, as soon as I saw that he made it, and that was Jack and Jill. I think there was one about a Cupid he did, one about like a fucking a Jack Frost or a Snow Miser or some shit, and then he did fucking Humpty Dumpty. A lot of these movies you would see at Walmart, and they're just, I've talked about them before, they're just these shitty garbage British movies. He's just one of these guys who just churns out product, not worried about it. People are buying it, so just slop it out for the fucking pigs. I think that shit that we watched with old Bronzy not too long ago, where he's a fucking priest, I think that was one of his movies, Joe.
That was
It's pretty good, right?
not at all.
So in this one, it starts out, it's like an animated sequence. It's like these creepy kind of looking sketches, which is pretty good. And it tells the story of old Christoph Walton off in the woods, being friends with all these animals. I thought they were stuffed animals. Isn't it like a Calvin and Hobbes thing
Yeah, I
where
think
these
so.
were like, so in this, they're like real animals. And for years and years, he's going off into the 100-acre woods playing with these fucking animals and shit. And then one day he leaves and grows. I'm fucking Chinese now. He goes to college, and the animals don't know what to do without him. Old Christopher leaves, and that means every other animal in the forest dies or whatever. So the group of animals, they have to, I think it's owl, Eeyore, Piglet, Pooh Pooh, and maybe one more. They not Tigger, he's not in this one because I don't think it's public domain quite yet. So uh they all say, oh, all right, well, it's turned this movie into a live all of a sudden, and now we gotta eat Eeyore. So the trauma of fucking having to eat their friend just turns Pooh and Piglet homicidal. And there's a specific line where, oh, and then they lost their humanity. But then the portrayal of Pooh and Piglet, they're standing upright, walking, using thumbs, wearing clothes and shit. And it's just, well, I understand you have to do that because this is a cheap fucking movie and you're just trying to make a buck and don't really give a fuck. But if that's the case, just leave that, oh, they're feral and lost their humanity line out of there, because dickheads like me are going to say, hey, mate, well, what about this? Yeah, the bloke's wearing shoes, ain't he? It's pretty human, huh? Yeah, you're a dickhead. Yeah. So I mean, it comes off as motherfuckers like wearing masks and shit. So just the execution of that, it's fucking fails. There was like a Winnie the Pooh kids show Disney made, late 80s, maybe early 90s. Those things look fucking creepy. If you like played it like they were animals and they were in like mascot-esque costumes, you don't have the money. I know. That's why I'm saying get mascot costumes, even if they were cheap and, just wearing the shirts or whatever, not wearing any pants. Like this Winnie the Pooh, like in overalls, dressed like a fucking lumberjack. The whole execution of that is fucking like garbage. It's just, you think it's just like serial killers dressed up as Winnie the Pooh characters. That's how it comes off. There's some CGI gore, whatever. Like there's some kills in there where you actually see shit, but it's nothing memorable over the top. I didn't expect like any blood or any kills or anything like that. So I was surprised by that. Shot well. Everything looked fine. Like some of the shits with the woods is like, oh, that looks all right, probably better than this movie should have. But I just didn't really give a fuck at all. Like if the fucking characters were just executed a little better. It's just like pretty much it's just a flock of birds rent a fucking cabin and it's just them getting picked off one by one. Oh, this girl here, this girl here. And it's just like, yeah, just your typical slasher shit. Like everybody was fucking when it first came out. Oh, this is the biggest piece of fucking shit ever. I mean, it's just your basic slasher movie. There's fucking like more blood and violent kills in this than a lot of them that I've seen before. A lot of them have been, a lot more boring. This isn't good. I wouldn't recommend anybody watch it, but it's not like it's this fucking terrible piece of shit. It's just like, yeah, it's a fucking slasher movie about Winnie the Pooh, which they, didn't pull off well. So yeah, it's fucking like it sucks, sure, but there's a lot worse slasher movies out there. Like what's that one? I want to say Fear World, but that's probably not. It's like some dickhead and looks like he's in like some kind of wooden mask. Kind of reminds me of The Fear. Came out a couple years ago in theaters. Hell World, maybe Hellfest. One of those was probably it. That one fucking sucked. This one was better than that, but they both suck. So who gives a shit? I've already talked about this fucking whatever movie for too long. I can see why people like it. Like if you like slasher movies and that's your thing. Okay, well this kind of has a goofy angle to it. Fine. I mean, whatever. You like slasher movies, cool. Get fucked. Joe, let's hear some fun facts about our boy George Kennedy.
Well, George Kennedy. Yeah, I meant to look up some fun facts about him, but I didn't. Uh, yeah, I just didn't at all. But I did watch the movie we're going to talk about. Um, so we're continuing our look into the work, specifically the horror works of George Kennedy. And this is a movie that I thought I hadn't seen, Death Ship. I always thought this had a kick-ass poster. It's got this scary-looking ship with a face on it. There's some people in the raft, and they're about to get fucked over by this scary-looking ship with a face on it.
It's like
And
they wanted to carve a pumpkin, but they were all out and only had a ship left.
yeah, so they had to use a big acetylene tank and like cut the fucking metal, and make a face on it. And I have this poster. I have this one sheet. It's one of the few movie posters that I own because I'm not a movie poster guy. I don't have too many, but I've always liked this. But I saw it way back, forgot all about it, so I thought I hadn't seen it. But as I'm watching, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this shit. So this movie, it starts out, we just get some clips of a ship, sailing along. It's supposed to look all fucking eerie and decrepit, but it doesn't. Just kind of looks like a ship. Uh,
It
later,
looks a little shitty.
later on, it looks shitty. Like I don't know if they use the same boat all the time or whatever. The engine looked fine, looked clean. Uh, but so after that, after the credits go through, we cut to this luxury liner, and George Kennedy is the captain of this luxury liner, and he's about to retire or get retired or something. Anyway, he's got 3 days left. This is his last tour. He's got this fucking boring job taking rich folks to the Caribbean and then fucking back, and he hates it. He hates people. Doesn't really like incompetent fucking sailors. He's a stick in the mud, Tom. Is what he is. And it's George Kennedy, and he does a great job in these opening scenes where he's just being a dick and not liking everybody. I thought it was fucking great. I thought it was really funny. Uh, but then their ship gets rammed by that other ship, Tom, the one we saw, the eerie looking one. But it doesn't have a face in the movie. That was just for the poster, you see.
And it's kinda hard to tell what the fuck's going on because, they show footage of the cruise ship, and then they show footage of the death ship, and, it's taken at different times of day and night on different film stock, so you're not actually sure what the fuck you're looking at. Like, are they switching back to different views of the same ship, or is this trying to tell you that time is passing? What the fuck? Did Italians make this too? I have to look this up. We're 5 minutes in and this movie's already incompetent and shit. We could tell that George Kennedy doesn't wanna fucking be here by the performance he's given, so I gotta look this up. Jack Arnold has something to do with this? Oh my god. This is American and Canadian? How is it coming off so Italian? I looked that up 4 times during the runtime of this movie because it was so goddamn incompetent that I had to make sure fucking Clyde Anderson's name wasn't fucking hidden somewhere in this fucking thing, but no, I didn't see anybody with O's or A's at the end of their fucking names in the credits, so mm,
Yeah, and I think the screenplay was written by Jack Hill. Uh,
yeah,
done
that's
like
what I was thinking of, yeah.
Big Birdcage and stuff like that. Uh, well, anyway, the ship collides with the other one. It sinks the luxury liner, and then we flash to the next day, and there's some survivors, and they're inside some like wooden box type thing. It's not like a safety boat or not a safety boat, a lifeboat or whatever. It's just some fucking box.
Yeah,
You know?
it's just like a table that was framed out, but no legs were put on it, like a really big table.
And as they're floating adrift and shit, hey, here comes George. He was just under the water for a long time. Didn't drown or anything. He was just under there. They pull his fat ass up onto the box, get him in there, and then all of a sudden, here comes that death ship. Comes up right.
Dude, that is the dumbest fucking shit. It looked so fucking garbage how these motherfuckers floating were shot on something completely different with completely different film and different lighting. The composite shot's one of the worst fucking things I've ever seen.
You know, no, it was several different locations because in different scenes, the quality of the water, like some of it water fucking murky as hell. The other times it's like ocean water. And I looked that up and so yeah, some of it was done in Canada, some of it was done in Alabama,
Alabama,
and then some of it off the Gulf of
Mexico.
yeah. So yeah, you can see that. You can tell like where the fuck are they now? You know. Anyway, they get on the ship,
And it
the
should be said for the next 30 minutes, fucking George Kennedy is paid to just lay there.
conscious, yeah. So the thing is, since he's unconscious, these two dudes got to fucking like carry him up these stairs, up this fucking like little thin stairway, and
From their fucking floating table
uh,
onto this giant ladder that's fucking connected to the boat.
and
And they have the
tiny,
best looking dummy I have ever seen in my life.
but it would be like me and Ari Lehman trying to pick up Tom. You know, it's just you don't want to carry that guy. But yeah, like Tom says,
But
he's
you're
in.
good men and you did, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ari Lehman. Uh, yeah, so they get on the ship and they're exploring.
No, not right away. First, the fucking ladder breaks, and the two
Yeah,
guys and the dummy which they're carrying fucking falls off the ladder hilariously.
that's funny shit. Uh,
Again, are they fucking Italians?
uh, well, when they get on the scary stuff starts to happen. You know, like doors are opening and closing on their own. The little hatches are fucking going on and off and stuff, and opening and closing on their own. You know, and we hear some German voices, but not clear if anybody else can hear them or just the audience. You know. But George Kennedy's kind of hearing them because I guess in his unconscious state, you know, they're like possessing him or like fucking bringing his inner Nazi to the forefront. Um, well, they look around some more and they find some clothes. You know, this other guy and his chick do some fucking, and George Kennedy he gets up and he finds some clothes too, namely like a Nazi kind of uniform. And
Or, a shit captain's uniform.
um, and it's like, hey, this is my ship and only I can fucking turn the wheel of the ship or everything. And there's a scene with Richard Crenna where he's trying to turn the fucking wheel of the ship, and god damn, that's some great acting. That's some amazing pantomiming. This guy, you know, he lets go, but in George Kennedy just very god damn, god damn, what performances from the both of these
You're
gentlemen.
not gonna take another one of my ships. Because you see, old George was gonna take over for other George when he retired,
Hmm?
or when he was removed.
Right.
Because George wasn't, this wasn't a retirement he wanted to do. He was forced to retire because he's a fucking asshole, you see.
So what lady, you know, she's just sitting there watching a film that she found, and as she's watching it, she starts to fucking rot away. Like her face starts to
Well,
decompose.
that was before she was watching George Kennedy, like, doing that fucking old timey shit, like, oh, let me damp your head with a wet rag. And then she finds a jar of these old fucking mints, and she looks around like, oh, I can't tell anybody. These are fucking mints are here in case this is the only food that we have. I just gotta know where they are. So she pops a couple in her mouth. And then she watches this movie, and it turns out those mints were haunted. Ooh, haunted by the ghosts of the dead Jews they have hanging in the freezer. Ooh. So then she turns into a fucking rotting nutsack looking fucking thing, scares everybody in the fucking room because they were just like, oh, we found some solace in this garbage ass piano playing fucking midget movie, whatever the fuck this bullshit is that we're watching. And well, that was all broken up when the ghost of the dead Jews in the basement came and manifested themselves in this lady's face. So they all fucked off and other shit happened. Some lady was fucking, after she got done fucking, she went into a shower and, started getting sprayed with blood and just spinning in circles, going, boo! Boo! And I fucking, are you sure this isn't fucking Italian? Because this is right here is some fucking Italian
And then
bullshit.
on and on for a long fucking time. Yeah, with her yelling and shit, and the guy pounding on the shower door. Yeah. But before that, because there's an actor that I hate. His name's Saul Rubinek. I don't know, but yeah, the ship doesn't want him on there because he's a Jewish guy, you know. So they has a hook and it picks him up by the leg and it just fucking throws him in the water, dunks him one time and it just throws him like fuck you, dude, go and drown, and that's what he does. So since I don't like this actor, I was glad to see him die. Um, and yeah, everybody else is slowly picked off, you know, one by one. And we learned that this was a prison ship, right?
I thought it was like a mobile fucking Juice Squad unit or some shit where they would just fucking like pick up Jews who were trying to escape at sea or some shit. I fucking, again, this movie's incompetent. They didn't really tell you what the fuck was going on. Just, oh yeah, dead Jews, probably haunted or some shit.
Um, so yeah, fucking George Kennedy's going crazy, and he's trying to kill everybody off, and the other guy, Richard Crenna, he's trying to escape with his family. He's got two dumb kids. With
Oh, they're not dumb, they're cute. Especially that one little kid whose gimmick is, oh, I got diabetes. Having to piss all the time, you see.
all the time, yeah. Uh,
Is this
but
where I do the piss thing? Shut up, you ugly fucking kid. Who hired this unmolestable fuck? Get him off my set.
Min, the little girl point. Uh,
Dude, they probably thought that shit was so funny. Someone's just like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if she said this? Get this asshole off my set. Horrible.
uh,
This movie
but
sucks.
get off the boat. When George Kennedy, the ship turns on him. The ship kills him. He's crushed by the engines, and then the family is picked up by a helicopter, and all is good in the world except for the ship, who is still hungry for blood, and it's still sailing off to go and wreck into more luxury liners or whatever. uh I like this movie. Yeah, this was all right. It's just fucking old school. It's not like gory or anything. And yeah, Tom's right. It is incompetent, and you laugh at a lot of shit that's not intended to be funny. But I dig it. Had a good. I wish they would have made more. I wish they'd have made like Death Tank or Death Bomber or something. I'd have watched all that shit.
You sound like you work for Vinegar Syndrome trying to sell bullshit there, Joe.
Oh, I'm telling you, it is incompetent. It is bad, but I dig it for that, partially for those reasons. I think at times when they show the ship all dirty and shit, it does look like menacing or whatever. The ship becomes a character, Tom. Uh, yeah, I dig it. I recommend this movie. I
I
think
would also, sorry, say that again.
I'm gonna hang up that poster.
Get a frame for it, acid free.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put pins in it.
Fuck that. Put it up to concrete and drive screws through that shit.
I'll tape it to the wall.
But like you, I would recommend this movie. It is not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. However, it is an entertaining movie. It would be the so bad it's good thing it would fall into that category. I probably should have had some beers before I watched this one. It would have helped, but it's pretty nonsensical incompetence with George Kennedy phoning in a performance, what you rarely see. So this movie must have been some fucking bullshit if he doesn't give a good goddamn. We seen him acting his nuts off in The Terror Within and couldn't give a fuck about this shit. So it's not good. Not at all, but it is worth a watch. Get some buddies and some beer, and if you're having like a double, triple feature of bullshit, make this one of them, and you won't be disappointed. But yeah, it's shocking that fucking no wops had anything to do with this fucking thing, Joe. Mm. Speaking of wops, Spider-Man lives in New York, Joe.
It does. It does. Um. So both Marvel Team Up and Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man took place in discos for that month. Uh, Marvel Team Up, Peter Parker goes to the disco with Mary Jane for some reason. I don't know. But he orders a beer, Tom, which I thought was like really strange. He
That's
ordered
against the comics code.
no. Um, it was a Chris Claremont written issue, and John Byrne did the art, and the guest star was Luke Cage because they're in a disco, you see, and in the other one, he goes to the disco with like his friends, like Shashan and fucking. But there, so he orders an orange juice, So Bill Mantlo was staying correct of the comics code. But fuck it, we're talking Amazing Spider-Man's here, and in this issue, Amazing Spider-Man's got a guest star, and that's Captain America. Also got a guest artist, and that's Jim Starlin. And this is one of the better issues that we've seen in Amazing art-wise. The story's just okay,
Which, at this point will take.
Yeah. Like some Spider-Man goes to this little town, because he's trying to get a raise, even though he had just asked for a raise not too long ago, like negotiated a contract or some shit, and he's on salary. But yeah, he's trying to get a raise, and so Joe Jonah says, "Hey, there's something weird going on over here. Go check it out, you fuck." So he does. He goes and checks it out, and what the hell? There's shield agents all around in this little town, and then Captain America's there, and Captain America says, "Hey, Spider-Man, get the fuck out of here, dude." And so, well, why? What's wrong with you, Captain America? I've been your friend. Just get the fuck out of here, dude. It's dangerous. And Spider-Man's just being a prick. No, I'm not going. And so Captain America roughs him up a little, and Spider-Man's like, "Oh, fuck, okay, dude, I'll go." He gets the fuck out of there, or so we think. And we find out that this kid of a movie star had been abducted. And before he was abducted, he was bitten by a rat. Anyway, Captain America's looking for him, and so is Shield. And hey, for a kidnapping, what's going on here? They've searched the whole little town that they're in, and then he goes to an electric power plant thing. And who's there but old Electro? He's a kidnapper, and he's been paid to destroy the power plant for some reason. I don't know. He starts fighting with Captain America. Spider-Man's hadn't left after all. He goes in there and he starts beating up on Electro too. And Electro grabs the kid and it's like, "Hey, I'll kill this little fuck. You guys just fuck the hell off. Get me my money." And Captain America says, "Hey, man, that kid's got the plague." Oh, shit. Electro freaks out. "Oh, that's why I've been coughing and everything." "Yeah, he got the plague from a rat. And they need to inoculate everybody, keep it isolated, and keep it from the public, you know." And that's what they end up doing. And Electro electrocutes himself and blows up a fucking the power plant. So he did that. He got that going, and but didn't get paid for it because he's dead, Tom.
He cured his plagueism.
Yeah, with death cure. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, Electro, trying to make a couple extra bucks becoming a kidnapper. That was cute.
Yeah. That's how he got the plague so rapidly. Yeah. Weird. Weird shit.
And then we soldier on.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, still doing the lists. You see.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Lori, she suggested some lists, most of which we already did, but it's fine. It's I see it's hard.
Yeah.
We've done them all. So if anybody wants to keep throwing them out there, all those people who voted for the list, if you want to keep it fucking going, throw some ideas out there. But hey, Joe, happy Hanukkah there, bud.
Hey, it is the third or fourth day of Hanukkah.
Night.
Yeah, Hanukkah, night of Hanukkah, the festival of lights they call it. Put on your dreidel. Uh,
What?
no, the dreidel's a little top thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
And the yarmulke is also a little top thing.
yarmulke. There we go. That's what that is. Light up the menorah. Blaze it, as Tom would.
Fuck.
Uh, blaze your homie.
Fuck.
um, and yeah, and watch Fiddler on the Roof or whatever. I don't know much about Judaism, but I know there's a few good Jews in the world, and Tom and I each have a list of our favorite sons of Isaac. And at number 5, Tom, I have Benjamin J. Grimm, who was a Jew. It was revealed in one of the issues. Yeah.
Who was a Jew who was revealed. I like how you said that like it was shameful.
Well, it through any of the continuity of Marvel until this one issue where he does some Jewish things.
Like eat shitty bread. Joe, my number 5 was revealed to be a Jew when he fell down the stairs and his shoes and glasses came off. And that is Saul Rosenberg. Classic. Not that Mort fuck from Family Guy, but Saul Rosenberg classic.
As long as it's not Saul Roseneck. Just fuck that guy. At number 4, Tom, I have the comic writer J.M. DeMatteis, who for the longest time I thought his name was J.M. DeMatteis, because that's the way it's spelled, and I'm reading it phonetically, you see. But no, I heard his name mentioned on a podcast. DeMatteis. Huh, how about that? He's written a lot of comics that I enjoy, including Craven's Last Hunt.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I would always say DeMatteis. So, Joe, my number 4, he was revealed to be a Jew when he was doing the press junket for GoldenEye, the Nintendo 64 game. And this is Pierce Brosnan.
GoldenEye. That was a game changer, Tom.
Was it?
Yeah. At number 3, got my good buddy John Baltusberger.
John who?
Baltusberger. The real name.
Ball Tits Burger.
I'll have to say that next time. He owns Madness Heart Press out of Austin. So if you like to read extreme horror, go to madnessheartpress.com. Check out several books he has to offer from himself and from various other authors. Yeah.
Joe, my number 3 isn't an author, but he is a nerd. He was revealed to be a Jew on the set of the hit TGIF show Family Matters. I have Urkel.
Tom, at number 2, one of our favorite actors, a guy that he's done it all, and it's rare that you see him just like give a performance where he's not giving it his all. I mean, he's known to do it on occasion, but most time you can expect quality work from George Kennedy.
Take your word on that. Just like you took my word on Pierce Brosnan. Joe, my number 2, he wasn't just revealed to be a Jew. He was revealed to be the King of the Jews. And that is Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah, he's on my list of our favorite black people.
Ah,
Uh,
nice.
so at number 1, I have one of my childhood heroes, a great thespian, uh, a great writer. He's written books and comic books, and a great vocalist. He's done a few albums, and that, of course, is William Shatner, who played James Tiberius Kirk in Star Trek.
Joe, my number 1 was revealed to be a Jew when they gave him the nickname, the ever-loving Jew-eyed thing, and that is Ben Grimm. Thank you.
Old Benji, his Aunt Petunia calls him.
Mm.
Um,
Everybody, hope this was doable. I mean, I've got 2 more options. We're gonna try the fucking tomorrow, I guess, to do a record on the computer, and then I will try it on the phone as well and see how that goes. And after that, the only thing I can fucking think of is I'll get like a Bluetooth microphone headset thing and see if that works any better using the phone, because it seemed like the video quality and the connection was fine when I was using it on the phone. It was just the audio was kind of bullshit. Is that what you got from it?
yeah.
So I mean, other than that, maybe go buy a 5G computer, something that could pick up Wi-Fi better, and maybe I can get the 5G hotspot on my phone. But yeah, I don't know why all of a sudden the last couple weeks this just went to complete fucking bullshit. So, I mean, I'm trying. Please bear with me. Like I said, as much as you guys hopefully get entertainment out of this, we do this to promote our fucking businesses and to help get the word out there. And if my shit's just fucking garbage, then I guess we'll just be doing solo reviews on our own time and wait until better internet comes to the old river. But yeah, I don't know. As far as next week goes, it'll be our Christmas show, and then we are fucking off till the 27th, I think it was. And that will be our last show of the year, and we'll do our best and worst. Do all that. I don't know. Maybe we'll do one more George Kennedy movie just to close it out and start anew when we come back on, I want to say, the 7th, because it would be the next time we'd record. I think that's New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day. Fuck that. So we'll just take that bullshit off and then come back on the first real Sunday of January. But in between that time, I'll still fucking do the Tales from the Crypt shit because that seems to record okay. I have no fucking idea. But yeah, there might be a review or two go out in the meantime. Joe might hit me up and say he wants to do something. So I mean, there'll be shit going on. Maybe the world ends or the
Hmm.
internet just stops altogether. We don't fucking know, but hopefully you guys had a great week. Thanks for listening, watching, whacking off, whatever the fuck you're doing to this shit. Hope your week and your holiday season's terrific. All the Jews out there, I know Hanukkah isn't one of your big fucking holidays, but hey, enjoy it. Hopefully you fucking get to spend time with your family and all that shit and just enjoy the togetherness. So DWNproductions.net, masks, bus, props, custom work, got, oh, I don't know, maybe 25% of the Black Friday orders out already. So I am chugging along. Hope to have them all out by the end of the month. And yeah, after that, it's just getting ready for old trans world. So we'll see how that goes. Joe, you want to sell some shirts, but not this one that I just remembered because I think you fucking lost the file or the screen or some shit.
Still have the screen. I do not know
Nice.
what the file is.
So
Uh,
if you want one of these, hurry the fuck up.
yeah. Fastcustomshirts.com. Tom mentioned it earlier. We will also both be, weather permitting, at the Houston Horror Holiday Market.
The Houston Horror Film Festival holiday pop-up market going on this Saturday, December 16th, 2023 at Eureka Heights Brewing. Come on down and see such faces as the little girl from Halloween 4 and 5, Jason from Part 6, someone from The Purge, and a couple more. We will love to see you there at the Houston Horror Film Festival pop-up holiday market at Eureka Heights Brewing, Houston, Texas.
There you go.
But I mean, fastcustomshirts.com too. You'd be a fucking idiot not to go there and at least buy 8 shirts.
Yeah, do that now, I guess. But other than that, yeah, we'll see you, or as Tom likes to say, boy, God.